This is sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash and I'm going to be joined today by Alex and Martin Green as we go through the Premier League. Premier League Punters is the show. And third round action in the FA Cup last week. So a lot of teams, they rotated their squads. They gave them a rest. Alex, Martin, how are you gentlemen?
Great to be here, Flash.
Good, good. Martin, I'll come to you first. Obviously, the FA Cup last week, a lot of sides rotated their squads, so they should be fresh come this weekend.
Yeah, I totally agree. We should be in for some really good games between some fired up teams. It'll be interesting to see what happens because the last rounds of fixtures were in the middle of really heavy fixture congestion, and it will be we could be in for some tighter first halves perhaps, and maybe we'll see plenty more goals towards the end of games. But yeah, good round of fixtures and got a few good tips ready to go.
That's what we like to see, Martin. I'll get the record up in a minute and you can show off your wares. Alex, welcome back. Always good to have you on the show. The big thing about, or a word of caution to most people, is check your team selections because there are some sides that have really got some big injuries to some really important personnel.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why we are filming this from Thursday. But it's always good to put your bet on when you see the lineups most of the times. And right now, most of all in the Premier League, because it was the festive period, it was full of action, also in the FA Cup, also in the Premier League, also in other kind of cups, because England in general have many cups and many games going on. When Bundesliga, Serie A and La Liga have their winter break, the boys in the Premier League are playing week in and week out, and not only one game per week, but sometimes maybe 2 or even 3. So yeah, injuries are a huge part of this Premier League round of fixtures, and in general, not only this week.
Okay, well, I'll really hasten to add how well we've been doing. But when I put the record up, please, Rafa, you'll see that I've been putting the brakes on us. Profit of 19.1, average price of 2.45. This should be called Premier Punters with added value. Put up the individual records, please, Rafa, and make it very quick. There we go. Dave, obviously, he's done a couple of shows at 9.2 profit. Martin at 22.7. And there's me at minus 10.8. I go up and down, up and down. Rafa, I like the way you got rid of that very quickly, as I've got plenty work to do. Really interesting card. Starts Friday night. And Sheffield United at minus 105. Draw plus 260, and West Ham, new manager, at plus 340. I'm going to come to you first, Martin. Friday night, Bramall Lane against West Ham with a new manager. Tricky game.
Oh, such a tricky game, Flash. You always think a team's going to get that new manager bounce, and it really happened for West Ham when they beat Bournemouth 4-0 last time out. That is a very encouraging result for Hammers fans. But we all know that Bramall Lane is a very difficult place to visit. Sheffield United have been the real surprise package of this season's Premier League. So we could have one team that's in good form throughout the campaign up against the team that's suddenly full of newfound confidence, which makes this a game that I just have to pass, I'm afraid. Could really go either way. Perhaps a draw, perhaps both teams to score if I was really sort of guns ahead, had to bet on it. But I'm just going to leave this one well alone.
Okay, yeah, very tricky fixture. And the big problem is you've got the newcomers, Sheffield United, who have done so well, getting plaudits for the team, for the tactics, and obviously for the class of the manager. Alex, Sheffield United, but they're at minus 105 against a team that have been in the Premier League for many a year.
Yeah, I mean, the new manager won the first match 4-0, but against the Bournemouth, okay? It wasn't against Liverpool or something like that. So there is nothing to say about that game. It was great attitude from the players. You could see that the new manager Magic did the trick once again. But as Martin said, Sheffield United at home are a tricky place to visit. So I don't need to have a gun at my head. I'm going both teams to score there at 1.87. I think that minus 110 or something like that, minus 112. So I think that is still great value in that bet.
Okay, so I'm going to actually go with both teams to score at minus 110. I don't really want to go on the winners market. I expect both teams to find the back of the net here. Sheffield United will just keep going. West Ham, they do have a forward threat. I do expect both teams to get on the score sheet. So for me, I think the big thing for this, looking for both teams to score, is both teams will think there's 3 points on the offer in here and there won't be any negativity. They will go for the full 95 minutes. From one tricky tie on Friday to a very tricky tie on Saturday. Crystal Palace plus 320, the draw at plus 300, and Arsenal at a tempting minus 109. Do we trust Arsenal enough at minus 109, Alex?
The odds dropped. It was minus 105 a few days ago. Yes, we trust Arsenal. Yes, Mikel Arteta is doing an amazing job. You can see that the players want to play. This is what I like when a better manager comes to place and restart a little bit the engines, put the batteries and turn the key to the players and say, you play this way, you play this way. You can see that they have tactics right now. I love the determination from this Arsenal team. Yes, they are a team not to bet, week in and week out. But I think that this is the place for Arsenal to win their second match across all competitions. No, their third match across all competitions. And yes, the odds, the set of odds, 1.89 in decimals. Are very good in my opinion. I'm still thinking to make them or not my banker of the week for this round of fixtures.
Well, you will be going straight to the nut house in a straitjacket for putting Arsenal or contemplating Arsenal being your banker of the week, especially against the Crystal Palace side who, when they play bad, they get a result. When they play well, they get a result. You just cannot get a gauge. It's probably not so much about Arsenal this game. It's more about Crystal Palace, Martin.
Yeah, well, send me to the madhouse along with Alex because I'm also going for Arsenal to win this game. Not sure I'm confident enough in it to make it my banker, but I think they can get the job done. It would be the first time Arsenal have won 3 on the bounce for as long as I can remember, which would be an amazing run of form. But I have really been impressed with their upturn in form, in confidence, and in the general mood around the club since Mikel Arteta took the reins. He's got a real sort of quiet, steely authority about him, and you can tell that there's a system now that the players are playing to. He's getting the best out of Xhaka, he's getting the best out of Kolasinac. Not great players, but in Arteta's system it works. And Nicolas Pepe starting to fire on all cylinders. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was rested in the FA Cup game, so he'll be up for it. We'll have Torreira back in the team as well, so he can feed the ball to Ozil. I just think that they can just about edge this one against Crystal Palace. Maybe a draw. I can't really see Palace winning it, to be honest. Zaha's always a handful, but they don't really have enough up front to exploit Arsenal's defensive weaknesses. And I think Arsenal will score at least 2 against Palace. So I'm going for Arsenal at, like Alex said, 1.89. And if you're looking on the American odds, minus 117 at sportsbooks such as Pinnacle and Five Dimes.
Well, less than an hour ago, they were at minus 109. So shop around for your odds. Moving to another tricky game. Do we trust Chelsea? Chelsea minus 333, draw at plus 300. And Burnley a massive 1200. Martin, is there any value on Burnley when Chelsea have been beaten by Southampton, Bournemouth and West Ham, all by a goal to nil?
Yeah, I think there is some value there on Burnley at those sort of odds. Why not? Yeah, like you said, Chelsea have done the hard part. They beat Arsenal and they beat Tottenham, but they lost against a load of teams in the bottom half of the table, which doesn't really augur well for the visit of a Burnley side that just love to pump balls into the box. They're big and physical, and they probably will cause problems for what is a pretty inexperienced Chelsea back line. I'm going to stay away from the outrights though, because you never know what you're going to get with Chelsea. They sometimes they really turn it on and they steamroll a team. But I reckon Burnley can score in this one. Like I said, there are defensive vulnerabilities for Chelsea, so I'm going both teams to score at 2.15 or plus 115 for our American friends.
Alex, do you see goals on the card?
Yeah, I'm on the same page with Martin. 2.15 seems like a dream, in my opinion, with Chelsea's always struggling on keeping clean sheets and having many defensive issues with this Burnley side that you can expect from them to score in every single match. They have that fighting spirit, which I like. So, yeah, both teams to score for me at 2.15 plus 115.
Okay, well, it's a pass from me. I've gone with Chelsea too many times and they've let me down. The only time that they've done me proud is when they came back and scored 2 goals in the last 6 minutes at the Emirates, and they were outplayed for 80 of them 90 minutes. So not for me, thanks. Pass it. I've got 4 passes and they all happen to be in a row. And the next pass from me is going to be at Goodison. Everton minus 109, the draw plus 2.81, and Brighton at 3.3. I'm going to come to you, Alex, because Brighton have been an absolute revelation in the last 8 to 10 weeks, where everything that Graham Potter, my old teammate, everything he's put in place is starting to come through. They're starting to play proper football. They're starting to look sharp. And the biggest thing is they're confident.
Yes, Ancelotti's honeymoon period at Everton is already showing signs of coming to an end. I was not at all impressed with them against Manchester City. It was deserved a City win. I think that we should have seen more than 2-1. Let's be honest, City is far better than Everton right now. Also against Liverpool in the FA Cup, Everton suffered. So, yeah, I think that Brighton can find the back of the net at Goodison here. And I'm going for both teams to score at 1.75. And I will tell you right now also in US odds, minus 133. So, yes, I think that you are absolutely right about this Brighton side. And who knows, they might even get a good result on the road at Everton. Because, yeah, draw double chance. I was looking at draw double chance at almost even money, plus 100. Yeah, really good set of odds if you want to fade Ancelotti in this match with Everton on their turf.
It's amazing, Martin, that we're going to talk about Everton hosting Brighton, and the question marks are all on the home side. I even looked at Brighton at 4.3 plus 330 and thought, I can't. I just got to put a line through it because there's too many different results in this game.
Funnily enough, I've actually gone for Everton to win at odds of 1.92. I think we'll see a reaction from Everton in this game. They were absolutely abysmal in the FA Cup, played against the Liverpool reserve team and just barely got close to them. Liverpool won 1-0 and it was deserved, despite Everton putting out pretty much a first team. The fans are really annoyed. They're really angry. They're going to demand a reaction in this game. At Goodison Park, I think they can probably just sneak all 3 points. Brighton have been very good. I totally agree with everything you said at the start. But I just feel that they're a lot better at the Amex. They don't travel quite as well. They're not quite as robust defensively as they were last season. They're a bit more ambitious. They play more attacking football. And I do think that Everton have the pace and the ideas to hurt them on the break. So I'm going to go for Everton at 1.92 or minus 109 with some of those US books.
Yeah, I can see your logic. I mean, we've said all season that if you're going to go with Everton, you've got to go with them at Goodison because they're absolute homers. I just think that Brighton, I wouldn't put anyone off them as a double chance at around plus 100. But I'm going to have to go easy. I remember I've got to make up plenty ground to get this this show back on the road. So I'm going to be trying to be.
Yeah, but I remember Flash that after some bad weeks, you had a great weeks, but with plus money odds. I mean, 2.5, 3.1, 3.2. So risk a little bit. We are not used to see you at 1.7, minus 130 and stuff like that. So yeah, come on.
No,
Everton to win.
Don't worry.
Everton to win and both teams to score at 3.7 plus 270.
I can't be back in Everton, and I certainly can't be back in Brighton. But don't worry, I've got a couple up my sleeve for this week, and I was going to go for 4 bets in one game, but I've actually pulled that back down to 2. Now we're going to go off to the King Power Stadium, and it's Leicester minus 156, a draw 320, and Southampton plus 510. Now Southampton unbeaten in 5. Leicester, a full calendar. They play last week. They play midweek. They've got niggling injuries to Vardy. He's missed a couple of games. He'll probably be back, but is he 100% right? So, Martin, are you going to stay on that Leicester train?
I am, yeah, I am. I can't wait to see this game. I do think that we're going to see a reaction from Southampton in this one. Obviously, we all know that Leicester went to St Mary's earlier this season and beat Southampton 9-0, which was a record-breaking victory for an away team in the top flight of English football history. There were mitigating factors. Bertrand was sent off early on in that game, and then Leicester just pulverised them. They were so clinical going forwards. Southampton are going to be desperate to turn the tables on them, but I think a lot of the same things still apply. Southampton are still are a lot better now, a remarkable upturn in form. Hasenhüttl's done well, but I still think that Leicester have the quality in midfield to pick the passes that are going to exploit their lack of pace at the back. And I think they can go on and win this game at the King Power. I think they'll get the job done. No, I can't see it being a high-scoring game. I think Leicester will be happy just to sneak a narrow victory in this one after that high-scoring game last time out. So I'm going for a classic bet, Leicester and under 4.5 goals at 2.05 or plus 105 if you're that way inclined.
Yep, so if you want to be on Leicester and you think Leicester are going to win, then you've got to go with the under 4.5 because I don't see 5 goals in the game. Big problem I have is that maybe Southampton, they will defend deep. They won't allow Vardy that space. I'm like a stuck record when I talk about trying to oppose Leicester. But it's going to be a pass from me. But Alex, Southampton unbeaten in 5. They were sitting bottom or second bottom in the league maybe 8-9 weeks ago. Isn't this a prototype for certain chairmen around the leagues to not get rid of their manager too early? Because everyone was calling for his head in November.
Yes, you're probably right here. But you talked about Vardy. His wife gave birth, and this is why he missed a couple of matches.
No, he missed a couple of matches. No.
He had a minor injury.
Yeah, calf strain.
But he is already back. He played against Aston Villa in the FA Cup. He was absolutely amazing. He missed a couple of opportunities. Aston Villa were very lucky with that 1-1 draw. Leicester dominated the entire match. Absolutely amazing. And I saw you answering to someone who was making... what's his name?
Grealish and Maddison.
With Grealish, yeah.
Yeah.
And you continue to say about them because I like the way you answered to that guy on Twitter today.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's too many people that want to go on and on about Grealish. I don't think he's got the pace to be a top draw player, even though he's above average, obviously, in that side. But Maddison, for me, he's an international player. And he's the reason that that Leicester are second, and he's the reason that his teammate is top of the goal-scoring charts. I think he's got all sorts of ability. He's got a footballing brain. He can execute a pass forward, and he scores goals. For me, I think he's definitely going to be in that 2020 European squad. So I think that Maddison is way better than Grealish, even though I've got Grealish above average.
Yeah, the XJs that they are always taking in consideration are not necessarily showing what the difference between two players. But anyways, that's all numbers. To come back, Leicester and Aston Villa in the FA Cup yesterday was a little bit of a war. Why I'm saying that? Pereira got a head injury. Madison got a knock at the end of the match. Felt a little bit dizzy in the 90th minute of the game, so we must take that into consideration. We don't know if he will be fit or not. Vardy with Ayoze Perez, I'm sure that they will play again. Or Iheanacho scored in 2 or 3 consecutive matches, and I think that he should take Ayoze Perez place there in front and help Vardy. Tielemans very good. That's I'm afraid a little bit. If Madison plays and Vardy will play absolutely 100%, I would go for Leicester -1 on the Asian handicap at +110, 2.1 on decimal odds. But if Madison won't play, so be sure to check the lineups. That's what I'm saying. If Leicester will play with the first squad, I'm sure that they will try to bounce back after that FA Cup 1-1 draw. They were very, very unlucky. They love to create a lot of chances of scoring per match. They have a great aggressivity. They are pressing high. They don't let you play the ball. Yes, Southampton will defend. I'm sure about that. You said it. But also Leicester have a rock-solid defense at home with just 9 goals conceded till now. So yeah, I think that also Martin's bet is very, very good. Leicester to win and under 4.5 goals.
Okay, well, another team that was in the Carabao Cup semi-final action this week was Manchester United against their old foes and the massive derby in Manchester. This week, or on the weekend, they host Norwich, and Man United -278. The draw +450, and Norwich already relegated for me at +860, which I think is quite a Scrooge's price. Alex, I can only see, I'm going to go through this game afterwards, I can only see Man United winning, flat track bullies against a side who've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I see a 2-3-0 here, absolutely. I'm passing on this match because I cannot find the value, but yeah, I see a 2-3-0. Maybe Norwich to score 1. But I don't know. I don't know where the value is, because you cannot trust Manchester United. Yeah, they are playing with a relegated team. Yes, you are absolutely right. Norwich will get relegated, but I cannot trust Manchester United. Normally, logically, they should easily win this match, but you never know.
Yeah, well, I keep saying it. They're flat track bullies. Martin, I'm going to go with Man United -1.5 on the Asian handicap at -105. I think that's really good value. I can see this being 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. I think there's definitely a 2-goal margin. So I'm happy to take the -105 with Man United at -1.5 on the Asian handicap.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a sensible way to play it. Logic would suggest that they're due a win. They've been very inconsistent this season, but they've now gone 3 matches without victory, so you would expect them to bounce back. It happened recently when they pulverised Newcastle on Boxing Day. I just don't really know how this game's going to unfold. Yeah, I agree that they could go out and destroy Norwich, who are very weak at the back. Haven't kept a clean sheet for, I think, since November or October. But then again, it could just be one of those frustrating afternoons for Man United fans. They've been playing some dismal football recently. They've been really poor in midfield, and Norwich have picked up a few results against some decent teams, as we saw with that 2-2 draw against Tottenham recently. So while I like that bet, it's going to have to be a pass from me as well.
Okay, a pass from both of you. Well, injuries we were talking about. Well, there's no side in the Premier League that's had more injuries than Newcastle, and they're going to go to Wolves And Wolves are at -204, the draw at 350, and Newcastle a massive plus 750. I'm going to start this off, and I'm going to make this very simple. I've got Wolves to win and over 1.5 goals in the game at -120. I don't think Steve Bruce knows what side he's going to play. He's going to chuck the balls up, see where they land, and just say, right, uff, buff and cuff, you're playing, because he's got so many injuries. He's not been able to put the same side out maybe 2 or 3 games running. When he did, they started doing well and they put a few wins together. I see them go to Wolves. Wolves are now got that little bit between their teeth and they're pushing for that top 6 finish. So, Martin, I'm going with Wolves and over 1.5 at -120.
Sounds good to me, Flash. Yeah, I think Newcastle are in real trouble at the moment. 3 defeats on the bounce at a terrible time of season. They're looking a bit nervously over their shoulders now, hovering a bit precariously close to the relegation zone. Bit of a difficult one, because while I think Wolves will win, I'd be happy to put it in a parlay, but I'm just not quite sure how they're going to win. Like you said, over 1.5 goals is good. There's always the classic under 4.5 goals as well. You can get 1.7 on that. I'm leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards it. But I'm just not sure, you know. Wolves aren't in good form either. That 2-1 defeat to Watford.
That's the mighty Watford you're talking about, Martin. That's the mighty Watford. 10 points out of their last 12. Got an unbelievable manager. Manager of the year material.
He is a legend. He is a legend, and I took it on board everything you said about Watford when he joined, and I've been betting on them with you, and it's been a great amount of profit that we've made out of it, which has been good. I'm looking forward to talking about them later, but yeah, I'm just not sure on this Wolves game. I'm leaning towards Wolves and under 4.5, but the odds aren't great, so I think I'm just going to pass it.
Alex, I'm sure you're going to like the European style of the way that Wolves play. Nuno Espirito Santo has done so well there. I'm surprised he's not gone to one of the bigger clubs, considering they were looking for a new manager. Wolves at -204 is obviously no value. So where is the value?
It's a pass for me, but I love both plays. Your play and home win and over 1.5 goals. And I love also the Martin Classic there. Home win and under 4.5 goals. I can see it 2-1, 3-1, 2-0, 3-0 there for Wolves. Even a 1-0. I don't know. Newcastle will find, it will be very tough for Newcastle to find the back of the net. They have, as you said, huge injury issues. And yeah, I think that both bets will win.
Well, we like that. We like that. We just hope you're right. Here's the biggest game of the whole card. Spurs plus 375. Well, there's a reason that is so high. The draw plus 350. There's a reason that's so high. And you've got Liverpool at -132. I can't give you a reason why that's so high. Let me tell you now, Sissoko out for the season. They reported this morning that Harry Kane, he's ruptured his hamstring and they say he won't train until April. For me, he's going to be struggling to be fit for the 2020s if it's as bad as reported. So that means the goals are out of it. It's not just the goals that are out of the Tottenham side, because he holds the ball up so well. When they're under the cosh, they can put it up to him and they can support. Now, Liverpool, probably the best side I've seen over the last 15 years. They have a world-class leader at the back. They have 2 world-class fullbacks. And in the present day, the way that they get up and down and they deliver, they're better than anything else that we see in nearly any side in Europe. Then the front three, Firmino, Salah, and the PFA Player of the Year elect, Sadio Mane, who just won the African Player of the Year this week as well. I'm going with Liverpool -1.5 on the Asian handicap at +180. I'm going with Liverpool and over 1.5 to win the game at +100. That's my banker. And also, I was just going to go with Liverpool straight win, Liverpool half-time, full-time. Honestly, I was here. I'd done an article over on SBR Sports, so it's sportsbookreview.com, and I've done an article on there, so go over and read it, because I only see Liverpool winning. Alex, I'll come to you first. Only a Liverpool win for me.
Yeah, not to forget that Ndombele and Harry Winks are doubtful. Also, Ben Davies, as you said, is a long-term absentee. Harry Kane out. Hugo Lloris out. Not to forget about Liverpool world-class coach or manager, how you like to say.
Oh, no, I see. I don't buy into that. I think you or I could manage this side.
Okay. Okay, if you say so, I will stop here. Yeah, Liverpool all the way, banker of the week at 1.72 minus 132. And also, I love your bet, Liverpool at over 1.5 goals at plus 100. And let me tell you, if Harry Kane will not be fit for the Euro 2020, bring Vardy on, who retired from international duty, international matches, but with a phone call, I'm sure that he might be back if he will play in the first squad for Euro 2020. Who knows?
Martin, that's 2 out of 2 for Liverpool. I know that you're not going with Spurs. So what value, and are you brave enough to go Liverpool and under 4.5? Because I tell you, if Liverpool get their heads up here, they could score 5.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I'm just not. I'm keeping it simple, Flash. I'm just going for Tottenham. I'm sorry. I'm just going for Liverpool to win, like Alex. 1.73. I just think don't complicate it. It's my banker, so I'm obviously putting 2 units on it. I'd put more units on it really if I could. I'm certainly going to be putting quite a lot of money on this one. It's there is always the risk that Mourinho could spoil the party, but I just don't see it. Liverpool have won 19 out of 20 games so far this season. They've been close to immaculate. They've got, like you said, world-class players in every department, particularly in defence and up front. And Tottenham have been hit by an injury crisis. Their main man, Harry Kane, is out. You struggle to think where the goals are going to come from. Defensively, they're not what they used to be. This just looks like an away win all day long for me. So, yeah, I'm sticking with that. A lot of interesting chat about the Euros. Sad for England fans if Kane does miss out. But
not if you've got your money on Holland.
Sorry?
Not if you've got your money on Holland.
Oh, yeah, I'm liking Holland because of Van Dijk and De Ligt at the back, but just worry about a striker, although the AZ Alkmaar guy's looking pretty good for a youngster. Luke de Jong's a bit not too prolific, but yeah, they look good all over the pitch. But I think England have got a decent chance. He loves youth, doesn't he, Southgate? So I reckon he'd just put Tammy Abraham up front for the tournament. But it'd be great to see Vardy back leading England to European glory. But anyway, we've got plenty of time to talk about that. It's Liverpool for me at 1.73. Bang.
Yeah.
About the light a little bit. He might go back to Ajax on a loan for the next 6 months. He was so good for 70 millions. I think that they spent for him, and now they want to send him back. They have a Turk player, Demiray or something like that, who took his place in the first squad, and he's brilliant, that guy. So the light might go back to Ajax. Ajax should be happy about that because they will not pay nothing for him to go back. But talking a little bit about Liverpool, this side is unbelievable, like you guys said. Robertson and Alexander-Arnold at the back there are doing miracles. And Henderson is the most underrated player in the Premier League, I think. He's one of the best, but very, very underrated. Yeah, and you specified something on the chat earlier, Martin, who will be at the middle, Maddison and Henderson. Yeah, that would be a great duo for England.
Yeah, not for me, Henderson. Passes sideways, complete and utter fraud. But in this side, him, Wijnaldum and Milner or Keita, the only place they're not world-class, this Liverpool side, is in midfield. But that's the biggest compliment you can show or give to Klopp, because he just wants players in the middle of the park who are going to win it and give it. We have a saying in football, there's piano carriers and there's piano players.
Yes.
And his players in the middle of the park are all piano carriers, and they just give the ball to those who play. They keep great balance, and that's why Liverpool look so special. I'm not a great
That's
Liverpool.
why he's a world-class manager.
Well, yeah, but I reckon we could do just as good a job. And we could have, you could be my number 2, Alex, and Martin, you can be the physio. All right?
Brilliant.
No, in fact, you could be entertainment manager because obviously you know all about your wines and your beers and all that. Obviously, it's not good to be just getting the boys smashed. But
yeah, don't put me in charge of nutrition or anything like that. I'll do. I'll just plan the title victory parade and the party afterwards.
yeah, exactly. Entertainments manager Martin Green. Okay, from the quality of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, by the way, and not White Hart Lane that I nearly wrote. We're going to go down to the South Coast, and we got Bournemouth, who for me are relegation fodder. We tipped him up at 4.5 on Twitter 2 weeks ago. Now, just plus 137 to go down. So I hope you all jumped on it. And listen, you could still jump on it. Bournemouth plus 155, draw plus 255, and Watford 10 points out of 12 at plus 180. I'll save my powder. I'll keep my powder dry until the end. Martin, take it away.
Yeah, I feel really sorry for Eddie Howe. He's done a very good job at Bournemouth, but they've just been hit by such bad injuries for over the Christmas period. They've dropped a ton of points, and now they're really looking in trouble, and it might start to affect their confidence. Callum Wilson, the goals have dried up for him at the wrong stage of the season, and Nathan Ake, massive loss at the back with injury. Then you've got Watford, on the other hand, who have been brilliant, like we said earlier, ever since Nigel Pearson took the reins. Troy Deeney's back in the team and back among the goals, which has really given the rest of the squad a lift. Doyle Lafoy's playing well. Ibrahim Assar's justifying his price tag. And they look like they're motoring up the table. I don't see them getting relegated at all. I think they can keep the good form going in this one. I do quite like just the straight Watford win, but I'm going to be a little bit more cautious and go Watford draw no bet at 2.01, which is plus 101 in American odds.
Okay, so there's one. Just maybe sitting on the fence, won't quite pull the trigger at plus 180, Alex, on Watford.
No, I'm with Martin. With draw no bet, I will play this one. Kabasele, red carded in the last match, will be out for this game. But if you look a little bit at Watford, they needed this change because they have such a good squad, and you could see after the change 10 points in 4 games coming from the bottom of the table, and right now having great chances to save themselves. I think that they will save themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have the squad for championship. They have a great squad for the Premier League. Deulofeu, Doucouré, Troy Deeney, Sar, Capu, Kalobak, Dawson. So absolutely great players, and that fighting spirit from Nigel Pearson right now is exactly what they needed. Because the players are there. The players are good. They will not change up after a night, you know. But you need something. You need a change. And this is what happened. And congratulations to the board who signed Pearson and did a great job. So, yeah, Watford with draw no bet at plus 101 or 2.01 in decimal odds.
Okay, well, plus 101. Well, proper athletes, this Watford side, and everyone who knows about Watford, it's all about them getting in your face, putting it up you, making sure they go for 95 minutes. And Nigel Pearson just kept it simple. He just installed their belief. He just reminded them what their DNA is all about. And I tell you what I've liked about it. I think they've had 3 red cards in the last 3 games. And that you don't get red cards unless you're putting it about a bit. And this is what Watford are all about. So anyway, I went Watford to win at plus 187. I put a line for it. I went for Bournemouth and Watford, both teams to score at minus 145. So put a line for it. I've come out with the Alex Classic at plus 115. I can see this game being a 2-1. I didn't have enough conviction, to be honest, on Watford going there and winning the game when I think that Bournemouth are going to be so desperate. So I'm hoping Watford win 2-1. I hope they win 3-1. But I just didn't have enough conviction to go with Watford to win at plus 187. So I'm actually going to go with the Alex Classic at plus 115. Now,
an interesting bet here, Flash. Watford double chance and both teams to score combination at plus 120 or 2.1, 2.2.
Well, that's why we got you on the show, Alex, because we know you don't sleep. You just dig out these little gems for everyone who's watching. So, I mean, listen, I wouldn't put anyone off Watford winning. I wouldn't put anyone off Watford double chance. I wouldn't put anyone off both teams to score, and I wouldn't put anyone off the Alex Classic. So if you can roll that into one bet, then good luck. So anyway,
like a bet builder from Bet365.
Yeah, you'd be there all week. If you had to do it with a pen, you don't run out of ink. It's the last game. I love this. And this was going to be my banker, but I'm going to stick it in a parlay. Okay, Aston Villa at plus 1,400. Draw, plus 750. Man City minus 500. Alex, tell me about last year's champions.
They're focusing on the FA Cup to win it. What to tell you?
The Carabao Cup.
They don't have nothing. Yeah, the FA Cup. They just destroyed Manchester.
No, the Carabao
United.
Cup.
What?
The Carabao Cup, not the FA Cup.
Carabao Cup. Whatever.
Carabao.
The fucking
it's
cup.
an energy
I
drink
don't give
called
a fuck
Carabao.
about the cup.
It's like a rival to Red Bull.
Anyway, they destroyed the Manchester United, and you know me, I'm not a cup player. I'm not playing cups. I'm not betting on cups because of that exact reason. I want to see the lineups first because they are, I don't know, they are using their B team, their third team. What Liverpool did against Everton was incredible. They used their third team. I don't know what team they used. But yeah, the City side are eager to show that they still have it. They know that Liverpool are already champions. They need a miracle to overcome and win the title. I don't think that that is even possible. But what I will tell you is that I think that they will go to enjoy the matches. They will go to score many goals. This is why I'm not going for the winners market. I'm going for the goals market. I'm going over 3.5 on the Asian handicap at minus 133 or 1.72 in decimal odds. Or you can go also with Manchester City to win and over 3.5 goals, which is at around even money or plus 100.
Okay, Martin, you like either of them two?
Yeah, I do. I think this could be a high-scoring game. Aston Villa are poor defensively, and they typically get steamrolled whenever they play Man City. I still remember vividly the FA Cup final when they absolutely thumped them. FA Cup game, and in the league recently they beat them 3-0. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty one-sided affair. Aston Villa's only good player for me seems to be Grealish. Wesley's out for the season. Goalkeeper Tom Heaton's out for the season. Tyrone Mings has had injury problems. So yeah, that just suggests to me that Man City are going to win this one at a canter. Sergio Aguero's coming back. There's good competition for places up front. Kevin De Bruyne's in excellent form. Bernardo Silva's in excellent form. Players like Phil Foden have got a point to prove. So I'm just going to go for Man City minus 2 Asian handicap at odds of 1.8, which is minus 125 in American odds.
Minus 125. I think you're both going to enjoy this bet that I've got then, because I'm going for Man City to win to 0 at plus 140. Wesley out. I don't see, what are they going to do? Put Codger up front? I don't see how they're going to stop Man City. I'm even going to go, I'm not going to make it an official play, but I think this is a 3 or 4 niller. I really do. I mean, that Villa are going to have bigger fish to fry. This is not a game that they'll be expecting to get points. They're injury ravaged. Obviously, they lost a boy in midfield, McGinn as well. So the whole of their spine, apart from Grealish, who floats, is out. Keeper out. Mings out. McGinn out. Wesley out. So Man City's win to nil in. That's what I like. Okay. Martin, can you run down your bets, please? And give me your banker and parlay if you've got it.
Sure. I'm going to go with Arsenal at 1.88. I'm going to say them all in decimal odds, just because that's how I've written them down. Arsenal at 1.88. Chelsea v Burnley, both teams to score at 2.15. Everton to win at 1.91. Leicester and the under 4.5 goals at 2.05. Liverpool at 1.73. That's also my banker. Watford draw no bet, 2.01. And Man City for -2 Asian handicap at 1.8. I mean, Liverpool's my banker. I'd have to put them in a parlay as well. I'll go Liverpool and I'll go Liverpool and Arsenal. Liverpool and Arsenal.
Oh, he's gone with heart rule in the head there. Alex, can you give me a rundown of your plays, please?
Yes, also a good bet for the last match, Aston Villa versus City, over 1.5 goals in the first half at 1.8. So 2 goals expected in the first half. Sheffield United, West Ham, both teams to score 1.87. Arsenal to win 1.89. Chelsea, Burnley, both teams to score 2.15. Everton, Brighton, both teams to score at 1.75. Leicester -1 on the Asian handicap at 2.11. United pass, Wolves pass. Liverpool 1.73 banker. Watford draw no bet 2.01. City over 3.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.72. City to win and over 3.5 at even money. And I have a parlay, which is also, you can find it on the Premier League, on the SBR sportsbookreview.com/picks with the total odds of plus 410, so 5.1 in decimals. Arsenal to win, Liverpool to win, Leicester to win.
Okay, good luck with that one then, and thanks for saving me doing another article. I much appreciate that. And mine are Sheffield United versus West Ham, both teams to score at -110. I'm going with Manchester United -1.5 on the Asian handicap at -105. Wolves to win and over 1.5 at -120. Liverpool -1.5 Asian handicap against Spurs at +180. And Liverpool to win and over 1.5 goals on the Asian handicap at +100. Bournemouth, Watford, the Alex Classic. If you don't know what that is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, and that's at +115. And Aston Villa versus Man City, I'm going Man City to win to nil at +140. Or you could also do Aston Villa total goals under 0.5. My banker is Liverpool and over 1.5 goals at +100. My parlay is Liverpool to win and over 1.5 goals at +100. And Man City to win to nil at +140. I thank you, Alex. I thank you, Martin. I promise to do my best and obviously start contributing to that magnificent total of profit. And I'll see you both again next week.
Great. Thanks,
See
Flash.
you.
Cheers, Alex. Cheers, Martin. I've been Flash, and this has been sportsbookreview.com Premier League Punters. A great weekend. Look forward to Liverpool getting the better of an injury-ravaged Spurs. You take care.